Aloha, aloha, all you magical beings. Hi, Witch of Hawaii, Kahu OniLuv, coming to you with open heart and all my aloha. Here we have Miss Puanani, Ecc-Lectec Witch of Hawaii, and we're gonna talk about in this video self-worth in the practice of magic. This was actually kind of an impromptu video that we actually decided today amongst all our other shooting today, and I thought it would be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it would be perfect. It was like a lesson that we ended up, going over today while we were preparing for the video shoot, and I thought it was really awesome. So we're gonna talk about self-worth in the magical practice and why it's important to really know your self-worth when you're practicing magic. Yeah. So the premise of this was we were thinking about other subjects that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And I actually stepped out of the clinic for a little bit, and I came back in, and Miss Puanani was on the drawing board trying to figure out what was going on. So go ahead, tell us the story of what she was trying to do.
So what I was trying to do was I'm like, okay, so I wrote Hearth Witch and I wrote High Witch. I left myself out, and then I was putting everything on that board that I observed them doing, right? So I was doing that, and then I was like, okay. And then High Witch walks in, and High Witch looks at that, and she goes, okay, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? And I'm there, and she's like, well, I don't see Eclectic Witch up there. I don't see it. And I'm like, okay. And I go, well, I'm trying to look at, everybody's attributes that they bring to our group, and I left myself out completely. And so she asked me, so you know what? Where's your self-worth at right now? Where is it? And I go, I'm at about a 7 right now. And she looks at me and she goes, okay, I think we're going to learn a lesson today. And that's her. And I'm like, okay, let's do this.
We went right into this, girl. We just was like, let's get right into it. Yeah, so I came in and I did exactly how she was saying. And I was like, okay, because Miss Eclectic Witch was trying to figure out what she would bring to the table, right? To the collective consciousness of what we're doing, right? Because I was thinking, okay, what else could we do today besides what we had planned, right? Because we have the time since we're here, right? And so she was trying to figure out what she brought to the table. And yes, the Heart Witch, she was going, yes, well, she's, she cooks food, she's a mommy, all of that stuff. What does the High Witch do? Well, the High Witch is a teacher, has all this knowledge, wisdom, and whatnot. And I thought to myself, okay, and I knew this was coming, because now it's like putting her on the spot, right?
Yes.
Like, what do you have to offer? Well, basically what I wanted her to do is basically, okay, what are some subjects that she wants to maybe cover while we're filming today, right? And then I realized, well, I saw on the board was, okay, well, we're gonna have to have that lesson. So I came in and we started doing the lesson. So I wrote down on the board, okay, as far as our magical attributes, what do all of us do? Yeah. So I asked her, okay, what does she see that the Heart Witch does? What does she see that I do? Okay, and then what does she see that she does? And there was a little bit of a stumbling stone here, because it's really interesting when you're asked, okay, well, what do you do? What is it that you bring to the table, kind of thing, right? And there was a little stumbling. She was not really.
Huge block.
Total huge block, right?
Huge block.
Right?
Because I was not on point with what we were trying to achieve.
So of course, now I have to tell you that she has a lot of experience in so many different things. And one thing that what do you call yourself?
Jack of all trades. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, Jack of all trades, master of none. So of course I had to, all of the things that I listed that the Hearth Witch does and that I do, I made it clear to her that, okay, well, we all do the same thing.
Yes.
We all can do the same thing. We have the ability to do the same thing. It's just that the reason why we have these different titles, right? It's because we express it different.
Yes.
And that's all it is. Because, hello.
Yeah.
Miss Dean cooks, the Hearth Witch cooks, right? I have knowledge. she has knowledge, right? So there really is nothing different between all of us.
Yeah.
It's just that we express it different. And I feel that that's how come we're doing this video today. For those of you that are watching, you know, might think, well, what do I have to offer? Whatever it is you do, whether you're like, you want to help heal the world, or you want to just help heal the people in your community, or just in your small little space, right? What is it that you bring to the table, you know? And it really is not what you bring to the table. It's how you express the things that you already do, you know? And when you get out of that competitive nature of, well, he or she does this, what do I do? And you start getting into this creative, you know, the universe is a all-encompassing, you know, universal openness for everything. Like there's abundance in everything. Then it's like, it's not what he or she does versus what I do. It's how do I express, or how do I do those things, you know? And we each do it differently, but we do the same thing. Yeah. And the reason why it's important when it comes to your practice in magic, because it's your self-worth that gives you the power, that belief in the practice that you do. Yeah? It's like when you're doing your crafts, or you're doing your cooking, or you're doing a talk or a speech or anything, you know, where are you in your confidence level? When you know what you're doing, it's perfect. Like it's, I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, but you know what you're doing. Yeah. Versus when you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm really doing it correctly or whatever, right? Then it's like, okay, it'll come off like just not so good.
Right.
You know, but when you understand that it's not about anybody else but you, your self-worth, you can work on your self-worth and be like, you know what, it's not, I'm not in competing with anybody else. It's just, I do it the way I do it. And that's enough. Yeah,
definitely is enough the way you do it. Yes. And I believe that we all, you know, we all complement each other here.
Absolutely, yeah.
We do, because we all have our different strengths.
We do, we do. And for all you magical beings that are watching this and, you know, asking yourself as well, you know, remember that it's you and how you do it. You're not supposed to do it like anybody else. You're supposed to do it like yourself. And that's the important part where your magic comes in. Because, I mean, we can do things similar, but as long as it's genuine to ourselves, you know, like I was telling her, okay, take this example for you. If myself, the Heart Witch, and the Eclectic Witch woke up for breakfast and we had all the same ingredients: eggs, cream, sugar, vanilla, and bread, okay? And we were told, go ahead and make breakfast, okay? We would all be creating something different, no matter what. Whether we just did scrambled eggs, whether we did French toast, or we did a bread pudding, or something like that, right? We all do it differently, but we would still end up with scrambled eggs, French toast, whatever came out, it would still be breakfast, right? It would be breakfast. Right? And so it's just that we express the breakfast differently.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And so after you kind of went through that lesson, share with them what epiphany you had afterwards.
Well, what the greatest thing is that I looked back into how I grew up, and I went, holy schmoly, having to be always, I guess, as an individual problem solver, you know, and it has to do with the way I went to school and whatnot, that this thing just opened. I mean, it came out through the floodgates. I mean, it was like, oh my shucks, you know, that it's great to work in groups, because I've never really had that opportunity to work in a group with different opinions coming in, or different ideas. And these things really, really help with a person to grow in knowledge. You know, it's like, holy smokes, I never realized it, because I was closed off to it because of the way I was thinking, and it was me. You know, it was my way of thinking, and it's when you're stuck in that rut, it's like, okay, so it's my way or the highway kind of deal, yeah. And you don't gather more information, and because you're just closed off to it. Completely closed off to it. So I was like, holy smokes. I was close up to this.
Yeah, girl, she was.
I was. Honestly. Yes. That one over there brought it out. Brought out that shadow. And that darkness.
She sure did.
Yep. And I was like, oh. I was.
Yeah.
I was, yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
And doesn't it feel more freer though?
Oh, heck yeah.
Because what you were trying to do before, it was confining.
Yes.
And then when you came to the realization, it was like, wow, wait a minute, I feel more freer. Like, I'm not trying to be like somebody else. I'm me, and I express it differently.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like, we all can do cooking. We all can do cooking demonstration.
Yeah.
We all can do crafting demonstration.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just that, how do we do it differently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's our forte. Like, I gave her an example. Like, when it comes to like the crafting part, as far as like jewelry making, you know, adornments, anything in the crafting world, when you hear crafting, that's what she does. And yes, I can do it, not as well as she can, you know. And so it's about my self-worth is, and here's the thing. Your self-worth is not just knowing what you're good at.
Yeah.
Your self-worth is also knowing what you're weak at and accepting that, you know what, you're not as good as you think you are. Okay, and that's self-worth. That's a high self-worth, because if you can admit to yourself that, yeah, I'm not as good as somebody else, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And then you look to somebody else and you give them that honor, because then you can learn from them.
Yes.
That's high self-worth. Yeah. Self-worth, again, is not about you having to know everything.
Yeah.
But it's when you can admit your weakness and give over that energy and, you know, in honor of somebody else that knows more. Yeah.
Yep.
So just because I might be the High Witch of Hawaii and you know, I know a lot of things, I've been trained in so many things in the spiritual world, doesn't mean I know everything. You know, there are things that I don't know. You know, like the Hearth Witch, she knows all these hacks to do amazing dishes. I don't know half the things that she know, you know. So I learn from them as much as they learn from me. Yeah. And that self-worth in magic is important. To know your weakness, accept it. To know your strengths, honor it. But in humility, humble yourself, you know, in that strength. Yeah. Knowing that within yourself, and that you're not in competition with anybody else. Then your magic can be the most powerful that has ever been in your entire life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it frees you.
It frees you, girl. It freezes you. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and it feels so good.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I think that's how everything went up tickety today.
Yeah, girl, no, you were really amazing.
Up tickety.
You in your video, like I was waiting for the normal Miss Puanani Ecc-Lectec in during the headlights. I was waiting for that, girl. You wasn't, girl.
Yeah.
She was amazing in on our shooting today.
Just up tickety, and it was just free. Yeah, so it's
That
just
was so
awesome.
beautiful.
And you know what? I gotta send a whole lot of gratitude to her. You know, because hello, she's just it. My love.
Oh, she's my love. Oh my gosh. Okay, all you magical beings, I hope you had a little bit of some words of wisdom today. And remember, the magic is within you, and you are worthy to do anything it is that you want to do, and you can put your mind to it. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So for now, this is your High Witch of Hawaii, Kahu OniLuv, and your Eclectic Witch, Miss Puanani, bidding you a hui ho and hugs and honeys. Mwah.